Hey guys, it's Lance at Mac Sound Solutions. And did you know that Apple is eating up to 50 gigs of your internal storage with their lovely 4K screensavers? Every time you click on one of their screensavers, it downloads to your internal drive and then it just parks there. If you download all of them, which I did the other day, it eats up 50 gigs. And I like, playing those back, having them as my desktop, but I don't like them eating up my internal storage. I'm going to click on this one and you're going to see it's downloading to my hard drive. It's going to the Macintosh HD. You see, I just lost some storage there. So that's Apple's tricky little way of giving you some eye candy and filling up your internal hard drive. Okay, so let's get those 50 gigs off our internal drive and move them to our external drive. The only way this works is if you have your user account on an external drive like I have shown in previous videos. Of course, the other thing you can do if you don't want to move them and you want to free up space, you can just go in and delete these. You're not going to hurt anything, and then just pick the few that you want to live on your hard drive. So let me show you how to move those 50 gigs off your internal drive, freeing up that precious Macintosh HD space. And today's sponsor is Acasis with their TB501 Thunderbolt 5 enclosure. This is a great enclosure for your M4 Pro Mac Mini. It gets up to 6,000 megabytes per second read and write, and I have all my external data on this little drive. So my home folder lives on this, my photos, my movies, my email, my documents, everything's on here. And check out my video on how to set this up. And a link is in the video description with a 20% discount code. So we're going to go to our Macintosh HD and we're going to go to Library, Application Support, and this is it. See how it's hidden? com.apple.idle assets. Okay? It's still, you don't know what's going on here. Customer, it says. What the heck is that? 50 gigs? Let's look in there. Now we're looking like we can see what's going on. And interestingly, there's no things in any of these folders except the last one. And I always like to set up my drive so I calculate the sizes of each folder. And to do that, you go to View, Show View Options, and you click on Calculate All Sizes. Otherwise, folders don't get calculated. You don't know what's going on. And now you can see I have 50 gigs of Apple's screensaver videos, and there they all are. So I'm just going to open one up. I can pop through these real quick. So yeah, they eat up space. Let's see how big, what's the biggest one they have? The largest size is 1.49 gigs. So if you download a couple, no big deal, right? But if you have a lot of these, you can just select them all and delete them, right? I can get rid of them that way. I'm not going to do that because I want to keep them all, but I'm going to move them to my external drive. So I've got them all downloaded already, but once we move them to the new location, we're going to trick Apple's operating system and it'll still think that they live on the internal drive. So if I've only downloaded a couple and then I download a new one, it's now going to go to my external drive. It's not going to be going onto the Macintosh HD. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to my external user account. And again, this only works with an external user account. You can go in there and delete the videos and free up your space that way. But if you want to keep them all, the only way to do it is to have your external user account set up. So here I am, Lance Mini, that's my external drive. And we're going to go to My Library and we're going to go to Application Support and we're going to grab Apple's folder of this strangely named idle assets. And we're going to bring it over. Don't put it inside another folder. You just want it to go into the application support folder. And because I've got nice speedy SSDs, look at that, 50 gigs copied in almost no time at all. Now I'm going to go delete this off the internal drive. And then these screensavers won't work anymore. Okay, now watch this here. I've got 427 gigs available. I'm going to delete the 50 gigs worth of stuff. Boom, I just saved 50 gigs on my internal SSD. But now, how do we get this so that they still work? Because if I reboot now, I'm not going to have any screensavers, and Apple will want to recreate that folder and start downloading them to the internal drive again. So just because I moved them, we're not done yet. We have to create a symlink that goes back into the Macintosh library application support of the Apple idle assets. So we're going to open Terminal, which is in your Utilities folder. You can go to Launchpad and go to Other, and there it is, Terminal. Okay, so we launch Terminal. I'm going to bring it over here, and we're going to make a symlink. So we type in ln spacebar -s spacebar, and then we're going to drag in the idle assets folder. There it is. Now we went to our user account, and you can see I got a bunch of symlinks in here, but we're going to create this new one. So when I hit enter, it's going to show up in here, com.apple idle assets. There it is. Okay, very simple. Now, the last thing we have to do is drag this over here. I don't want it to go into a folder, right? If it goes inside a folder, it's not going to work. And there it is, okay? Our symlink, you can tell by that little arrow on the folder, is now over there. And there's a symlink here, right? Because it got created and put in our user folder, and then we copied it over. So now I can delete this symlink in my external user folder because I don't need it there. I only need it over here. And again, the videos are now on my external drive. There they are. Okay, there's the 50 gigs, users, Lance Mini, library application support. So now I'm going to reboot. You might not have to, but it's just a good idea. And you'll see that now these videos are going to run off my external drive. And I'm just going to put it up in the upper right-hand corner, and you can see screensaver is playing back, right? That one's really slow. Let's go to the screensavers, and I'm just going to pick this one, and you can see it's already downloaded. I've got all of them on my external drive. I don't have to download any. And if any do download, though, they're now going to go to the external drive. So now you can see I have one that I have yet to download, right? It's got the little arrow. I'm going to click on it. It's downloading. And you can see on my external drive, it's starting to eat up some space. And it's done. Okay, and there it is in the folder on my external drive. So now we've moved all of our 50 gigs of Apple screensavers onto our external drive, freeing up our small, well, I have a 512 gig internal storage on my M4 Pro Mac Mini, but you get the picture. Free up those gigs is always a good thing. And I just want to throw this in there. If, say, you're logged into the internal user account, as long as you have that external user account connected, the drive that is, the internal user will still be able to use all those screensavers. And say you aren't running your user account on an external drive, you could set up an external user and call it screensavers, right? And then you could do what I show in the video and just put all the 50 gigs of screensavers on that external user account if you wanted to. Just saying, you could do that. So they always work regardless of which user is logged into the computer, as long as that external drive is connected with the symlink in its proper place. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next Mac Sound Solutions video.